could, honestly. I think you can still play the lane out pretty comfortably, and you get so much value by going that Alistar later in the game. I think it's still worth it. The lane's not that unplayable. Like, yes, you're going to lose a little bit of prio into the Nico, but I think it just gives you so much power in the team fights, having like this Sion, Wukong, Alistar frontline. I think you take that trade.
And I think KT have come out of a red side better than a whole lot of other teams that have been playing throughout the last week or two that we did see. Interesting. Let's have a look at how it's going to go as we jump onto the Rift for Game 1 of this tiebreaker. It's that we feel better about this being a more competitive series. Showmaker going to hit level 2 first, and currently doing okay. As we do have Cuz just searching for a Raptor camp that he could possibly get his hands on. And oh dear, there's the flash slam, and Beryl going to hold him in position. That's first blood, and it goes over to Showmaker, who actually flashed for it as well, just to guarantee that they have that extra money in the mid lane. And if this snowball starts a rolling, could be rough times as Doctorm heads up towards his top side, and Shiu's in a lot of trouble. Perfect, trying to get after him here as the flashes are available for both of these top laners. Shiu gonna hold on to his and get himself out. No one burning any summoners, but at least, you know, Shiu a little bit scared of KT, I guess. Or is it only contagious because of the fact that you can catch a cold off other people? All right, Peter gonna find a headbutt pulverize here onto Shiu, who's continuing to have a little bit of trouble here on this top side of the map.
Which, you know, there's a lot of A broadcasts, but
yeah. All right, Wolf going to come in here as Beryl, I think, may have got out. Aiming does use the killer instinct to create some distance, and Cuz can't lock him down for long enough. Really nicely played here by DK in order to try and get themselves some grubs, but KT not wanting to give this one up. Peter at level 5, not going to be too scary on this cow, but do manage to get one of the smites, and Lucid might even be able to get more here as Cuz is moving over. Showmaker avoids one of the Qs here from B2D as they get Lucid and Beryl out of the area, and it looks like KT will be able to slurp up the remaining grubs that are left.
Yep. Looking a little bit cautious about this one though. Cuz doesn't have a smite available yet. Looks like they're trying to wait for the cooldown. Yeah. Beryl has so much aura right now, just zoning them off.
Yeah,
and they will force them away.
Yeah, gave Lucid and Showmaker time to come over here, and Lucid will be able to... Oh, almost. Soul Furnace up there, perfect. True Shot Barrage is going to spot that this is happening. And DK just going to be taking this one away. So that is going to be feats of strength of the objective department. Secured here by DK. It got to the point where we had to actually get rid of Chronicler. We sent him back to the Netherlands just for a week because he's been doubting the curses, hasn't been respecting them quite as much. There is the charge from Shelly. That's going to be able to take down the outer turret in the mid lane, and that's feats of strength going over to DK as a result. Peter already with the Unbreakable Will, and DK just going to kite that one out. Now Cuz could be in trouble. Flash out of the way of the Pop Blossom as the Weaver's Wall comes through, but it's a little bit of a funky timing there as the Seismic Shove pulls perfect over the wall. True Shot Barrage doing so much damage though on Lucid, just going to get taken out by KT. Now Peter flashing away, the Seismic Shove will be avoided. The Scion is extraordinarily low, but able to walk his way out, and the only kill to go over so far is that one onto Lucid. Shio able to get himself out as well, and holds on to the flash, and I think that might be enough here for KT.
I think it's...
All right, BDD going to be just flashing immediately. A lot of respect towards Lucid, and I think that is warranted as well.
And right now, KT, they have those 2 dragons in pocket. Yes, they're down in gold, but...
Oh, it is the real Beryl. Pop Blossom comes through, it lands onto 3, but there's no one to follow it up as aiming does come in. I told a lie as the Kaiser is able to get there just in time. Peter in trouble, and that is a little late on the ulti as Cuz gonna get wiped out as well. True Shot Barrage going to find the middle of the post.
I put in quotation marks because it's this Nico, but actually so hard to take down.
Doctorm finding a lot of buttons here, but instead we'll find a turret shot. Probably doesn't want to hit that one as the flash forward. The barrier is instant, and that allows Doctorm to survive.
Aiming is closing in on that Infinity Edge on this Crit Kaiser build. Oh no!
The flash in, it's a decent buffer, but he's still knocked up into the air and taken down by Aiming. There's that assassination you were talking about as Perfect rethinks his decision immediately and gets the heck out of dodge. Shiu, in the meantime, here on this top side of the map, will be taking out a turret, and DK will be able to even out the dragons as a result. Oh no, this lead continuing to balloon. Okay, we're just looking for Shiu. They're going to see whether they can lock him down. Does get slowed up by the Rune Prison, but otherwise just flashes and dashes away. There are a lot of people on the other side of the map.
Yeah, this is a bold play to put 2 members here, so they could potentially threaten PDD, and Eamon could fly in and look to assassinate him while the rest of them pressure Atakan. And now KT, it's kind of like a split focus. They're committing to the Atakan now.
Yeah, and it is going to be Showmaker going back. He can teleport in as PDD towards his top side clears out the wave. Lucid in the area with his ultimate available as the Atakan's down to 50%. Shiu standing on top of a ward. The flash pulverize comes in from Peter as a public execution comes down just to get him out of dodge. There is the wall coming through as Beryl finds one with the Pop Blossom, but he takes so much damage. The Scion's already dead though. Zombie mode coming on through, but KT, their health bars are just evaporating as the seismic shove after the flash from Showmaker is so good. Realm Warp to try and get them out, but the follow is instantly there. And DK massacre KT in the team fight, and they'll get the Atakan as a reward. Just let me know how you feel about it, everyone, and if I should just stop saying Atakaran forever, or whether it is kind of cool. It's okay. Cuz just going to get held up into the sky. No Cyclone for you. And then continuing their onslaught of this map. Death's Dance going to be completed here for Shiu, whose situation is important. Barakan is actually like way cooler, like half the chat, and the rest are thinking that Atakaran is canon. So it's hard to tell at this point in time. We'll have to figure it out.
Barakan does sound really cool. Atakaran sounds like...
Perfect went so far, having to go through the turret there as out he goes. Lucid going to get rid of the Scion. That is going to allow them to siege up this last remaining inhibitor turret. And DK looking like they can do no wrong. However, the train is coming on through. Stopping a little short there is perfect. Didn't want to go too deep as they do manage to at least defend the inhibitor for now. Another wave is coming through. There's no Baron, of course. But DK with so much extra money as a death cap on Showmaker right now. There is 4,000 gold ahead for the Gold King himself as the Pop Blossom connects onto 2. Beryl should be going down here though as BDD does close that kill. And now, public execution getting Shiu into the backline, but now he's going to get knocked up. Now he might be in trouble as Peter gets in there. Shiu, not actually in trouble, as it turns out, ladies and gentlemen. He's actually tankier than we thought. Lucid, not so much, as Dr. Arm dashing forward. Cuz almost dead to aiming, who Killer Instinct into the base. And there is only one remaining Nexus turret. He might be able to follow these super minions in. The rest of KT are going to back away, and they hold on for now to try and keep things sorted out as, oh dear, Keeper's Verdict going to come down. That is going to get rid of Cuz, as now Peter moving over the Pop Blossom, and Dr. Arm is going to get singled out. DK just running KT around the map right now as Lucid is going to get the flash out of Peter, but the Weaver's Wall comes down. Flash out from Showmaker, perfect, just trying to hold them in position, but the perfect execution gets to the back line, and Shiu taking a lot of damage. Perfect able to flash his way out, and PDD is a bit of a raid boss, but he's going to get shoved into the wall and cut down by the Ambassador, and I think this may have been the last gasp. The DPS is now dead for KT, and Cuz just going to be hanging out on his fountain, waiting for this game to be over.
Yep, T+ able to take this game pretty convincingly. Strong start to the series in T+ fashion, and I think KT, Cuz in particular, having a really rough one on the back of this.
Oh, he really did. That was a big struggle, but DK will come out trumps here in game number 1, putting them 1 win away.
Looked lost. I mean,
yeah,
5.2k damage. He wasn't in the game.
He wasn't. And he was shut out very early, right? It's a 3-buff double scuttle. Something that the coach of KT actually coined here in the LCK when... with now Beryl to answer, it's a lot of engage if this Rel does get locked in. Gives them a lot of mid-game power once more with this composition. But I just feel like KT have every answer. And this draft, once again, looking great.
You know,
last time around we said that though, and things did not go so well. So DK, on any given day, are able to get things done.
Yeah, I mean, I think KT have everything they want here. Arguably, even more so than they had in the previous game. But we'll see how that pans out for them.
At the same time, let's get onto the Rift for game number 2, possibly the last of this tiebreak.
It's just, you know, they've really captured. Even they have BD with a level advantage over Showmaker. Both of the mid laners did just reset though.
Yeah. Wandering over towards Lucid here. Shiu could be in a little bit of trouble. He does searingly charge away. As Peter trying to keep himself alive here. That pillar was amazing. As Doctom trying to stack up this Blighted Quiver and does get a lot of damage down onto the Ornn. He is allowed to live
in all 3 lanes, essentially, for a good part of this game. The fact it's just a trade of these neutrals, really, I think they're in position to set up all these. Oh, she was low. This is just a kill.
Well, Equalizer is going to come on through here. Shiu taking a lot of damage, and he's just forced to stay on it. The entire Equalizer is eaten, and they haven't even picked up turret aggro yet. He does get the knock-up as Cuz is looking to try and keep himself alive. He does do so, and Perfect locks down the kill. All right, we're going to be fighting for this one. That is a deep teleport for Shiu, as Beryl is just going to get locked down before they've even started. The curtains coming in though, and now the Ornhorn's coming on through, finds the double knock-up, but there's not a lot of follow, as it's another Chemtech Orcs. What the heck? Shiu now going to get taken down solo. The Equalizer positioning again is gorgeous. Oh, Perfect. What a turnaround in this game as Lucid diving forward, utilizing his untargetability very, very well, but he's unable to find any answer to the 2 kills from KT. And on the top side of the map, it's playing really well. And as I say that, Caster Curses are indeed real, ladies and gentlemen, as he will get ganked by 4 people and die. I'm sorry, KT fans. Really am. As KT are going to answer it immediately. Showmaker now in a little bit of trouble as he does get cut down. And LOL Park explodes!
Lucid trying to defend this. I think with aiming moving down, they should be able to keep it alive, but a lot of damage done. Peter in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, Deadly Flourish. Once again, the kennel of safety here for Cuz as Lucid dives forward. Beryl Magnus Storm on a 3 is gigantic! Cuz just standing his ground though, seeing if he can find another chomp and he'll get it. King's Tribute as well, keeping him alive, but in comes the Ornn and down goes the Trundle. They are going to look for this Rift Herald though, so back on the front foot once more. Equalizer back up and available. There's an Emperor's Divide, there's in fact everything they want to throw. Not a whole lot of flashes left remaining as somehow the Rift Herald is taken by the Rumble as the Ornhorn comes on through. Double knockups are going to come down as well as the Equalizer gets so much value. Somehow Cuz stays alive for so long, and now Shiu, the Sand Soldiers finish him off. And over the wall goes Showmaker and Lucid, but I don't know whether they're long for this fight as the curtains have been called. And the answer is there for KT. They just don't seem to care. As down goes Showmaker. Doctom aims the arrow and lands it true. And now BDD just looking to clean up as he face backs, and the doggo gets out. And once again, KT able to turn it around. DK looking a little worse for wear as Peter just going to push them away. Arakan is going to belong to KT now. Whoa. As a teleport in from Showmaker. They're looking to try and fight. Guys,
let him go, let him go, let him go.
Yeah, Peter's dead. So they are going to be able to get the Leona, but they'll trade her for a Arakan, and the Dragon's also been taken, so...
Showmaker TP'd in as Perfect was TPing top. Like, it was just like an exchange.
All right, Beryl looking for an angle here. They find the 2-man Magnet Storm as the Emperor's Divide gets BDD out of there as Beryl in a whole host of trouble. Into the backline goes Showmaker, but he pops like a balloon. Lucid trying to get himself out of there. Beryl is limping, but alive, at least for the minute. They've taken BDD, but can any of them survive as Perfect with his Flame Spitter is looking to burn them down. There's a couple of kills, aiming. Oh my goodness,
Snipe?
Even. Okay, there it is, the flash. Gets aiming to safety. As the Comet did so much damage to aiming on his way out as the curtains
got a dodge.
It being called, and he does flash just to make sure that he survives.
I love how both AD carries would have killed the other if they hadn't flashed, so they trade up massively in terms of kills, and they do get the Baron.
This is just protecting Perfect here.
Yeah.
Don't quite remember, but it made a noise similar to that as Charm is going to connect onto Peter. I don't think the Eclipse is going to be enough to keep him alive here as the Equalizer still going to be invested. And she was melted. Isn't he supposed to be a tank? What the heck? Showmaker does get himself another Essence Charge, lands another Charm onto Perfect, but it's all just defensive.
He's less than half the army as Magic Resist. Doctom just massacres him.
Well, Showmaker not able to find too many buttons. Does get the return of the Orb of Deception. This is a bit of a zoning equalizer, and it does exactly that. Gets rid of DK. I don't think they're defending this particular inhibitor. As Peter is going to get charmed. Deadly Flourish is going to connect there as well. They almost got through half of the health bar of the Leona. If she's able to press that button, she's feeling all right as Cuz. Great dodge out of the way of this Ram. One chomp, and all of the health bar comes back again. Equalizer now on cooldown though, as the Subjugate was also invested in that little skirmish. But it's 3 ults on the side of DK. The investments certainly answered.
Actually, I think Showmaker uses as well, so it's 4. They only have barrels. It is not looking good. KT gonna push in this bot wave as well.
Yeah, this is not gonna be long for the world, as even the harpoons feels like an ultimate's hitting Lucid there. Does a lot of damage. Oh, golly. All right, well, Peter looking for a little bit of an angle here, as there goes the kennel. Oh, this is Equalizer territory. This is so scary. Perfect in position. There goes the Equalizer. They do try to jump over it, but the Emperor's Divide keeps them at bay. Doctom locks down the kill onto Beryl, and in the blink of an eye, they all just disappear. It's the KT magic trick, and DK, I'm not quite sure where they turned up.
Yeah, I was watching it because his health bar didn't move, not a millimeter, so...
Oh, that's a shame. We want to see it bouncing back and forth because of all the healing.
Yeah, KT, you know it's going to come out to try and stop them, but I don't think they can do much here.
No, the curtains have been called, but not for KT. They're looking for this last remaining Nexus turret, and of course, in this tiebreaker, we are going the distance. DK, they get to answer a KT. This is what we were expecting out of KT here today. A little bit of a slow start, but finally we get to see them. They're going to need to do it one more time.
That they deserve to be in the Legend group.
I think it's now kind of on even footing as we head towards the deciding game. For DK fans, you're probably feeling all right because you do get side selection again. So far, blue side has been very, very good, but pretty sinister.
This is like the sinister vibe, right?
Yeah.
I think for D+, that's a sinister composition.
Oh God, we're not doing it again, are we? When Lehens locked this in, we didn't like it, but it did win.
Peter did say, oh my God. Okay, this is really important. Peter was co-streaming that. Okay, I think the Brom's better. I think the Brom's better.
Goodness.
But Peter was co-streaming when Lehens played Morg.
Yeah.
And it popped up.
Oh, Tom Kench.
It said the last player to play Morgana was Peter, and he lost. And he said, and then when Lehens won, he said, I'm not that guy. Lehens is that guy. and he says, you know what? I'm not that guy. I'm going to play Tom Kench. A lot of safety from it.
He did. Definitely a bit of a build war battle between the supports as well, on theme.
For all Chronicler knows, Tom Kench could have been in Season 2.
Oh, I can't wait for Season 3 with However, there is a lot of lane control here for KT. Let's see whether the red side can come out on top, or whether it's DK going all the way. I haven't heard. Oh, we are all right. We are just rumbling. That is so much damage. Peter knocking them all into the sky as she is joining in. Beryl running away. He walked back. Why did you walk back, Beryl? Oh my goodness. All right. Well, that's a pretty. That's a way to get into the game.
Yeah, they could just keep autoing you, and as you run away, she's autoing you, and you can't go long trades on a Senna early.
Oh dear, Peter going to be blocking some anchors here as Beryl's in a whole host of trouble. Remember, there's great health to go through here. Beryl, he could just be dead. The piercing darkness, not enough to keep him up. And Peter doesn't even press the button. He's able to get all of that health regen, and he is back to being good. I feel like...
와, 너무 고마워.
Yep, thank you very much. It says, as we can see here, as I've seen this play before, and I'm a little bit worried. Aiming, looking for a bit of a snare here as Cuz going to get hit by the anchor. Beryl still going in. He is not afraid of anything at all. As Showmaker flashes, gets the stun, and Doctom! Why are we standing there, buddy? That's not what you want to be doing, and DK going to use this to head towards the Dragon. So it might be that last play not going to be quite as bad when Peter does die in now. And another Abyssal dive coming on through there from Peter. Gonna get the flash out from aiming. That's a huge deal here for the KT bottom lane that are in the top lane. KT duo.
Yeah, that works. Peter now level 6 as well, so an extra safety net. Beryl did have that available. Was trying to look for an angle, didn't find it. Perfect playing very aggressive. Lucid might be looking for something, but Cuz is in the brush, so I think they can win this.
Yeah, there's the knock-up, and to the skies is exactly where Perfect sends him. Well, teleport comes in from Peter, who has an unsealed spellbook, so he just wanted to come back to lane, and plates aplenty over to KT.
As well is going to be better.
Yeah, Cuz unseen for now. As they do have vision of this, exactly what's going on. Cuz just going to get on through, just walks in. That's not even the smite. That's BDD that takes the dragon. And Dawning Shadow comes on through. Cuz is going to go down. The Tom Kench as well. And BDD has to flash to get himself out of there. Does manage to get to safety. 2 for the dragon is going to come on through. And it's an Infernal Soul. Oh, Peter's ghosted. And Showmaker is just going to stop him. There's a max range anchor. That should hold him in position here. He does manage to eat the grey health this time. And there's that flash you were talking about. Everything is used. Going to come in as now Doctarm wanting to get a bit of peace made through here. Let's see how it goes. It's pretty close.
With the shot.
Snap Trap's going down as the Rift Herald is going to park itself in mid. See whether this is going to get them. The turret will need more than a charge. But this turret is now extraordinarily low. Shelly will be taken out. They clear out the wave. Trying to defend the skeleton that represents this turret right now. There it goes. Amy just walks over and takes it down. Doctarm was in vision momentarily. Throws down the trap. There's the flash forward. Doctarm is caught yet again. This time the Devour going to be there for him as she was teleported in, and DK taking control of the dragon. Another teleport to come through. BDD delivered, and another hook and a land from Beryl. And they just secure the Drake by pressing the light switch. Isn't able to find the same level of value as, oh dear, depth charge going to come on through as Doctarm knocked up into the sky, does take the snare, but the rest of KT will turn up. Cataclysm into the backline, and there is the ace in the hole. Aiming, keeping himself alive for so long, though finally he goes down, and KT do have enough in the tank. It's a double for perfect. And KT, they show DK that they can win fights too.
And they will turn onto the Arakan.
Yep, and we can see the value, right? Like, this is a Cataclysm comp.
Right, it's still dragon advantage for D+. Perfect looking.
Needlework coming on through there as now Perfect could be in trouble. He boops back Lucid. There's the gobble as Peter trying to keep his Jace alive. He gets a big old shield as BDD's teleported in. Lucid so incredibly low, but he flashes away. Cuz gets after him, but he leaves the rest of his team. And BDD, my God, the Arcane Storm damage is revolting. Doctarm, I'm not sure what he's doing there, but he finds the Peacemaker, takes down the center, and Beryl didn't quite have the damage. Eventually, the Caitlyn goes down, but it's only she left alive, and he doesn't have a lot of mana, and there is a big old Jarvan to take him out. Throws down a flag, knocks him up, takes him down, and there is the ace for KT. And especially into Fog of War, man, this is so hard. Beryl has to face check. Xiu on a decent angle here as the Gravity Well is on cooldown now. Showmaker goes in. They look for the Jarvan, but they don't find him. The Gobble is just too good. Beryl is down incredibly low. Cuz is in the backline now, and Perfect is going to join him. They trade 1-for-1 on the junglers, but Doctarm, he's also dead. Perfect is so low. He's running as fast as he possibly can as the Annie is going to fall to the chase somehow as Perfect was running away. Aiming and Xiu, the last man standing, and Perfect and BDD are on the other side, but it's KT that get the dragon. But still, this is going to be an uphill battle here for D+ Kia. Maybe a Paranoia onto BDD is going to be helping out as Peter going to join in. The Fear is going to connect, but BDD, it's so hard to get through him. The Arcane Storm goes down, and Lucid will just get cataclysmed and taken out of the fight. The Gobble comes through yet again as BDD with that big shield now to return to this fight. Gravity Field making things difficult as Doctarm this time is feeling a whole lot better, but the slows from the center are working, and there's Xiu able to cut down one. Can he get more? That's the question. Melee range with Doctarm as he flashes away. Cuz now in so much trouble. BDD is on 1 health as Xiu's not going to get hit by that ace in the hole. The Dawning Shadow is going backwards, and Perfect is just thinking that maybe he'll win the game. Oh, these health bars are so low. Okay,
One of the TP.
The rest of DK, though, are basically dead. Oh God, this is not what you want to see, is the Paranoia just to try and lock this one down. They move forward, and that is the smite for Lucid. That was way too close, DK.
When you look at those,
sad.
Yeah, you don't look at those and think, man, I'm intimidated, right? And then you look at aimings and you're like, oh boy, right? And I just think that's the issue right now, is that this Caitlyn is very underwhelming.
Yeah.
And I think leveraging aiming is how D+ are going to win this game, and they're actually ahead in gold now. Finally, just able to crest above. They do give over the Dragon to KT. Not good, not great. Giving that one over.
And it's
D+.
Inhibitor traded for Inhibitor is cuz
Yeah,
he's going to have to be the one that face checks this. That is a lot of value for the Shock Blast. As it gets DK out of the area, may as well fish for it. As Cuz looking for a little bit of a window here. Feels like he may have caught Beryl. Throws down the Cataclysm. It's a hard commit to this play as the Gobble does come through. And there is Lucid delivered into the back line. And the flag and drag gets Cuz to safety. BDD now having to deal with Shiu. He goes golden, but I don't think he has anywhere to go. Beryl is traded for the victor. And DK will take that any day of the week.
Don't worry about him. The difference between those Shock Blasters hitting a frontliner and hitting aiming. Very
Anchor gonna find Cuz here. He's not exactly an optimal target, and now Beryl in a lot of trouble. The Dawning Shadow flying forward, and DK looking to try and turn this into a fight, but the Nocturne's already dead. Shiu's done his job though. He's taken down Doc Armor's Beryl. Is just fighting Cuz in the backline. Peter finds BDD and keeps him alive. Perfect. Dives in on top, and KT have found the team fight off the back of Cuz and a triple kill.
The death time is so long, I think they can just end.
Oh my goodness, if this is the end of this game, that would be absurd as KT march down the mid lane. Looking to take this, they're at least going to be taking 2 inhibitors off this play. The Baron's up, it's Infernal Soul on the table as well, but KT are just going to look to end it right here, right now. Look to put themselves into the Legend group and get side selection in their matchup against DK on this Saturday in the road to MSI, and that's exactly what they're going to do. KT, they're your Legends today.
And get into the Legend group, taking down D+. What a huge achievement, and every single player had to come through clutch.
Yeah. BDD being out of position, Doctom not positioning that well, but it was that guy right there. Damage this full lethality Jace is doing on this job, and that we haven't seen for so long. And that's a very... I keep thinking of your warm colors in the Legend group thing.
Oh, it came together.
It absolutely did, as Peter, my boy. Yeah, well, I mean, it had to come down a little bit, and then heads straight back up again. As you can see here, yeah, Perfect does so much damage. Look at that heart monitor of a gold graph as well.
It's just a little rickety, you know?
Yeah.
It's just, you know, it adds character.
They needed to win so many games in order to be in this position. As Perfect, I think pretty obviously picks up player of the match for this one.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Steer for the POM interview translation, joined by Perfect on the side of KT Rolster. Congratulations!
와, 오늘 정말 엄청난 경기를 보여주셨습니다. 결국
Wow, what an impressive performance. And you secured the Legend group, so how does it feel? I'm just relieved that we won. You know, there are moments where we were lacking, so I definitely need to work on that, and we will fix it. Wow. So you already are thinking about room for improvement. Well, as for today, Legend or Rise, your fate was on the line today, so what mindset did you prepare with? I just knew that as long as we play and do our best, as much as we did in practice, that we would be able to win. And in game 1, you quickly took Sion, a top-performing pick, but the enemy responded with Poppy and Kaisa Nico bot, and Nico managed to impose some threats, so what do you regret the most in the game? I feel like there were several moments where I could have been more proactive, but not being able to pull off those proactive plays was what I regret about the most. And following game 1, you quickly blind picked Rumble, so what made you prioritize this pick so much? I feel like Rumble is just a really well-rounded champion, and Equalizer is super useful in team fights, and he is actually able to withstand some dives. And in game 3, KT went for J4 and Tom Kench, so how did you end up with these uncommon picks? Honestly, I didn't really pay attention to to these picks, but I think I just played around all these confident picks that my teammates were able to really appeal. And with KT's top invade first blood, you had a great start. So who called for this invade? No, I think Peter was the one who actually called it for first, and then everyone was able to follow up to that. And we knew Jace was good, but you had an insane damage output, and you had such an impressive moment in team fights. So how was your Jace able to scale so strongly? I was able to start with that first kill, and I think I was able to snowball. And even while playing, I knew that this could snowball really good. And the moment I got the double kill in mid, I think I just knew that this game would be great. So this was the moment you knew that the game was won, right? Yes. In game 3, surely made everyone's hands sweaty. Oh, it says this fan is going to the army, so KT needs to head over to Legend Group instead. You know, today's match had such nerve-wracking moments. So how did it feel? Honestly, I didn't feel it as much in-game, but after the game, my hands were just so sweaty and so shaky. And even now, I am so nervous. And this upcoming Saturday, in the Road to MSI Round 1 match, you will play against DK again. So how do you want to play in that match? Yeah, our roller coaster is on an upward trajectory, and I want to keep up this momentum and get a clean 3-0 sweep. The KT roller coaster is going up indeed. And today we saw fans that are crying after the match. So would you like to say anything to your fans? You know, we had such ups and downs, so many things happening. And you know, I want to repay all your support, and we want to put in our every utmost effort, and we will keep on trying our best. And please give it up to Perfect once again, and that's the end of the interview with Perfect. Back to the space. Thank you.